What's up, guys? More Medic One here, and today's video is going to be on this. Today we're working on a John Deere Z330M zero-turn mower. It's got the FR691 Kawasaki engine, and we've only got just a handful of hours on the machine. And what we're going to be doing is I like to do it at about 5 hours of operation, is get that oil out of here that's in this engine. I like to change it at 5 to 8, somewhere in there. We're at 16, that's okay. But once we hit the 50-hour mark, we're going to change the oil again, and then after that, we'll be able to just do our 100-hour oil change increments from then on forward. But let's go ahead and we're going to get this oil sucked out of here with my oil evacuator. We're going to screw a new filter on there, and I'll go over with you guys my choice of oil and why I use the oil that I do use. Guys, this is the most crucial step to any small engine longevity. The reason that you want to get this oil out of here, and I don't think they really put break-in oil in these engines. They just put factory, whatever they have at the factory, Kawasaki oil. And what you are basically doing is the subsequent, or this oil change and then the oil change after this one, it should be completely broken in by that time. But the first 5 hours, you want to get any of the manufacturing process contamination out of the engine. You want to run it, get it hot, suck it out. This engine actually has a drain, but sucking it out through the dipstick is just as effective. As you can tell, I'm using my manual oil extractor from the Harbor Freight, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can get one just like this, and they work absolutely phenomenal to get your old oil out of here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this oil changed, get a new oil filter on it. But I just want to talk to you guys just a few minutes about the importance of this crucial first step. You just want to get all of the contaminants that may have been introduced at the factory. As the piston rings wear into the cylinders, you're going to get a little bit of, I don't want to call it blow by, but you'll get a little bit, your oil will get, diluted with unburned fuel. That's going to happen. That's inevitable. You're going to have to deal with that, and the way you deal with it is doing your oil change for the first time. Some mowers have a slot cut out in the frame to where you can easily drain this oil filter, but this one does not. So you're just gonna have to do the best you can and clean up your mess when you're done. Now there is a lip, and I'll show you the lip under the oil filter when I get it off. But we're just gonna shove some rags under here so that we can catch most of these drips from this oil filter. Right here is the oil recommendations from Kawasaki. I pulled this off of their website so you can see that the 20W50 so far surpasses. I just happen to have the John Deere manual for this machine, and I was just out of curiosity, I was just curious to see what weights of oils they recommend, and It shows to be pretty much anything between 0W40, 10W40, 5W40, 5W30, straight 30, straight 40. But if you look down here, it says you can also use John Deere 50 Plus, which is a super, it's a high viscosity oil for high temperature use, like we live here in Texas. I'm not going to be using the John Deere 50. I'm going to be using the Valvoline VR1. It's got a really good package as far as zinc and other wear protection stuff. It's good for small engines. I use this or Royal Purple Racing oil, and I am going to opt for the 20W50, which will be perfect for excuse me, the weather that we have here in Texas, where it's always above 100 degrees. It is so hot and humid in Texas, and you really need a good zinc fortified oil. This one says 2 times more zinc for extreme wear protection. Now, I wholeheartedly believe in that. These flat tappet engines really do need a good zinc package in their oil. Now, you can use car oil, is what it's saying here, but if you want your engine to last, use a good high zinc oil. Kawasaki makes a good factory high zinc oil. I'm gonna reach down in here and grab this oil filter with a wrench. And in the past, I have taken these factory oil filters off, and they were on there so tight. Golly. I guess they just don't want them to leak. But now you see that shelf down there. That oil is gonna run down that shelf onto our paper towels here. Get my big fat hand out of the way. And if you're lucky, your paper towel will absorb most, if not all of that that's trying to come out of there. You're gonna make a mess, that's for sure. Filter that I'm going to be using is a little bit taller. It's the Wix 1348, but this one is just the STP 3614, which is the equivalent of the 1348, and it's a little bit taller, so it's going to stick out a little bit to where it's easier to grab for your next oil change when you use your oil filter wrench. This engine holds about 2.2 quarts. So we're going to dump in 2 quarts and check it, and if it needs that extra 0.2, then we'll pour her in. Quart number 2. Let's crank it up and let everything circulate. Let's go ahead and check this oil. And the way you check the oil on a Kawasaki engine is you just set it down on the threads. You don't screw it in. Just set it there and pull it out. As you can tell, we need that extra little bit of oil to bring it up to the full mark. It's just at the very lower end of the scale here. So let's go ahead and put that 0.2 of a quart in, and we should be good to go. We're at that second to the last dot. We need just a touch more. Perfect. Full to the mark. Full and happy. Alrighty guys, hey, we got that John Deere going one more time. Hey, if this content helped you out, and I know it did on this video, give me a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. And while you're there doing that, go ahead and click that bell so that you get all of my new videos. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's week. Mower Medic 1.